You know, when you saw on the news that Elijah Cummings and Donald Trump were beefing back and forth, they showed all these politicians, but they didn't show regular people. They didn't have an input. They should have showed them and asked them what they thought and how things are. And then I think it would have shut everybody up.
We are here inside of the 7th Congressional District of Maryland today. Why are we here? Well, the president has criticized this district as being a bad place to live and having a lot of problems. The left has come to the defense and said that this is a great place to live and the president is racist. So, what's the truth? We're here to ask the only people that matter, the actual residents of Maryland's 7th District. Benny on the block, let's go ask. Palestine, how long have you lived in this area?
60 years in this block.
Yeah, I lived in Baltimore actually all my life. All my life.
Lifelong resident. You seem like a guy who loves Maryland. Is this home for you?
Yeah, I've grown up here my whole life.
You love the city?
Of course. Hey, I done been other places, but I prefer here.
I've been born and raised in Baltimore all my life.
I do a lot of work down here in the city, so I see a lot of the ups and downs of the city.
The president tweeted that it was rat infested. I mean, is that true? Are there rats here?
Yes. There's rats here everywhere.
Oh, there's rats. God knows there's rats. Yes, they are. There is a rat problem.
The stuff that's in the news is basically true. Rat infested, you know.
We have rats, but of course that's going to come with trash. There's quite a few rats, though.
The city gave everybody nice, great big trash cans. Why don't you use them? Everybody need to do that instead of just throwing it where they want to. Use the trash can, put your trash in it.
You hear a lot about there being a trash problem and a rat problem here today. We've talked with a lot of residents about the trash problem and about the rat problem. The people who live here tell us that that absolutely is true. And as you walk down the street, it's evident that there are just piles of garbage everywhere that you look.
The city hasn't always been bad. It's going downhill because lack of jobs, lack of housing.
And you see all these just abandoned homes all down the sidewalk here.
You got a lot of boarded up houses. The city has already said they're not going to put any work into them. They're not going to develop them. So they're just sitting here.
Not a single inhabited home. And we're on an entire city block here, both sides. You can look up and down both sides of the block. Not a single home is habited. I mean, everywhere around here, as you walk down the blocks, it's irrefutable. The buildings are falling to pieces. And look behind us. This looks like a war zone, but it's Baltimore. This is the result of leftist policies, decades and decades and decades of neglect and of corruption. Baltimore is one of the most corrupt cities in the country, and it's been controlled by leftists for generations. This is what that looks like. So you have to ask yourself, who would want to raise a family here? You have downed power lines, no one helping. You have shards of glass, an entire house has collapsed. How would you raise a kid here? How would you want your child to go play in the streets? I mean, you can't have that. It's dangerous. This district specifically, you live here and work around here. What kind of problems do you see? Like, what critiques would you have for the district?
Well, I'm like everybody else. I would like to get rid of the drug problems and stuff like that.
I done seen crime rate, drugs.
I just have a problem with these people with these guns. Put them guns down and start living.
And I mean, it's really sad. But honestly, the cops around here are so understaffed. So it's a really tough situation because the drug game's strong and the cops are low. And I know it could change and be better, but a lot of people giving up hope around here.
Like most of these kids, I started off thinking selling drugs was the way. But I had to learn the hard way.
What is your message to politicians who represent you from someone who lives here?
My message to the politicians is stop talking the talk and do the walk. Walk that walk.
Get out and see the area. Stop sitting behind the desk. Get out and visit the people. Not just the good areas, the bad areas too.
I really feel like a lot of the congressmen and a lot of people that could help feel like it's a waste of time, and it's not. There's people that live here, people that want help, people that want to have a beautiful environment.
I would just tell them come in the city and spend a day or two to the politicians and stuff like that. They need the politician help.
You know, and when you see something, do something about it instead of, saying, oh yeah, we're going to do something about it. From what my understanding is, Maryland's
supposed to be one of the richest states, but yet we don't see no money coming into it, as far as fixing it up.
Help the city out. Don't forget about us. Don't forget about the city. It has a lot to offer, you know what I mean? And it's no different than we need help just like any county. We need help. Help us make it a beautiful place to live.
You can't run the place if you're not local, if you're not coming down here and seeing the problem firsthand. Because after all, this country is for the people, so they need to find out what their people wants and what can be changed. So that's what my opinion on it is.
We've been down here for multiple hours, talked with a lot of people. Here's things that you cannot argue with. It's irrefutable. There is trash. There are rat problems. There are some major boarded up, broken homes. A lot of blocks have been abandoned. Every person we spoke with had a consistent message. Get out of your ivory tower in Washington, D.C. and come here and help us. If you represent this district, come down here, roll your sleeves up, and actually help us. We feel like we've been forgotten. That's what people say. That's the one message that they all have here in Maryland's 7th District. This has been Benny on the Block, Baltimore edition. Thank you for watching. National politicians, what would you like to see them do, for Baltimore?
Well, I would say one thing to do, Congress would need to do is just let them progress as opposed to taking the taxes and things like that. That's kind of hindrance to our generation in particular.
Lower taxes?
No taxes, actually. That's even better. That's even better.
He's woke. No taxes. That's awesome.
Right, no taxes. That's probably one of the best things ever.
All right. You heard that. Taxes are too high in Baltimore, all right? And probably in the whole country, actually. No taxes in the whole country?
No taxes in the whole country.
Oh, look at this. Absolutely. Run for office, please.